I'm not sure how much of a performance this will be, but we'll do our best. Hello, everybody. Welcome to the 2023 Panthers. Tonight is about celebrating you, our student athletes. I'm not sure anyone outside of this room truly appreciates what goes into being a Division III collegiate athlete. You're not just members of a club that meets once a week. The time and energy that you all invest daily to be the best that you can be is often not recognized by those not familiar with the grind of being a student athlete. Preseason workouts, double and triple sessions, team lifts, practices and games 6 days a week, long bus rides, rescheduled games due to weather. That's fitting since our baseball team's not here. Not to mention classes, study halls, jobs, other campus organizations and activities you're a part of. And of course, you have to have a social life too. So let's start by congratulating all of you. We had some historic team performances, record books were rewritten, and there are All-Americans here among us. But regardless of the number of wins and losses or what place you finished in the race, you were all committed to the name on the front of your jerseys, Plymouth State. So give yourselves a round of applause. The Panthers represents the best of what Plymouth State Athletics stands for. Student athletes who contribute to the legacy of our department by their commitment to team, department, university, and community. Student athletes who strive for excellence athletically as well as academically. And most importantly, those who help make Plymouth State the special place that it is. But before we move forward and celebrate our award winners and seniors tonight, we need to acknowledge the hardworking group of people who help make this all come together. Every successful group needs strong leadership at the top, and there's no question that we have that here. Every decision she makes is based with your student-athlete experience as the top priority. Our Director of Athletics, Kim Bounds. Our Associate AD, who can brighten up even the rainiest of days and whose energy and excitement about this department motivates all of us to be better, Courtney O'Clair. Our Assistant Athletic Director, who makes the rest of us look sane, and believe me, that is no easy job, the Queen of Awkward, Lauren Levine. Our Assistant Athletic Director and Head Athletic Trainer. He also monitors the department suggestion box, so any complaints should be directed to mdlegacy@plymouth.edu. Mark Legacy. Our Director of Strength and Conditioning. You guys may have caused him to pull all of his hair out, but he's more than making up for it with the hair on his face, JT Thomas. A guy who has bled green since 2014, and technically the first 6 years were Castleton green, but I think the shades are close enough. Our equipment manager, Aaron Smith. And the new head of our broadcast team, who had some very big shoes to fill and made the transition completely seamless, well, except for the time he turned off the power in the middle of a men's soccer broadcast. Up in the control room, Evan Alfano. And of course, the rest of our incredible athletic training staff, Micah Dion, Eric Gibbs, Rachel Springman, and GA's Caroline Davenport, Kate Glynn, Sierra Miller, and Sean Spinard. And now, please join me in welcoming to the stage the person who fights for us all of the time, our athletic director, Kim Bounds.
Hi, everybody. So I want to thank each one of you for being a part of this department. And I think it's a good moment for all of us to thank your coaches for all they do for you in a job that is seeing so many coaches leave the profession because of the time, the stress, the issues they go through. These days with both students and parents. We need you coaches, and you need your coaches. So remember that when you're interacting with them. So I'd like to thank our coaches. So from my perspective, this was a really, really great year, and probably the best group of student athletes since I became the athletic director. And I do not say that every year, so I truly, truly mean that. And why, might you ask? One, your overall average GPA was the highest it's ever been this past fall. And I'm, yes. And I am hoping to see that this spring as well. Your athletic results were as good as, and in most cases, better than ever before, so congratulations. Overall, you represented us positively on campus and off, meaning I didn't have to meet with many of you over things that I didn't want to meet you. So congratulations on that. And lastly, only a couple of your parents anonymously called me, yelled at me, and slammed the phone on me. But I guess they didn't think about reverse lookup. But that doesn't determine who you are. You have the ability to be the greatest teammate ever. My hope for those of you who are not graduating is to take your next 1, 2, 3, or 4 years to really think about what it means to be a great teammate and a representative of Plymouth State Athletics. How you are during your time here is going to greatly affect your life after athletics, and it'll determine how you do in the world after college. Remember these traits, please. 1, be an unselfish teammate. 2, be hardworking. 3, cheer for all of your teammates. 4, compete every day. 5, never bring drama to your team. 6, don't let your talent interfere with character. 7, believe in your team. And 8, embrace your role. Great cultures don't exist without great teammates. I especially want to thank the seniors for all they've done here at PSU. And we will see that the traits mentioned are the traits of those receiving tonight's Panther Awards. So please think about that. I am so grateful for how all of you were this year. A couple little bumps, but nothing major. And I'm so, so, so proud of you. So thank you.
You know, while Kim was talking, I realized that I forgot somebody when we were making introductions. We actually have a special guest with us here tonight who many of you may know or recognize, probably seen him lingering around your games with his camera. Our photographer tonight, would you come up? Our photographer tonight is a legend of the town of Plymouth, John Scott Sherburne. JS, why don't you hang out here for a couple more seconds? So JS is a great friend of mine who I've known for a long time. When I was a student here, he hired me to work at Jigger Johnson's. So most of you won't know what Jigger's was, but it was essentially the equivalent of the dog these days. The original dog, maybe. Yeah. We were roommates and co-workers. We made lots of bad decisions together that thankfully nobody recorded because cell phones didn't exist back then. And he also photographed my wedding. As a Plymouth State College alumnus, JS has been a huge supporter of not only Plymouth State athletics, but also Plymouth High School athletics and just a lover of sports in general. He's beloved by the community. He's always sharing his incredible photographs with athletes and their families, and he's never asked for anything in return. But what JS doesn't know, maybe he's starting to get an inkling now, is that while, in fact, we did need a photographer tonight, so don't put that thing away, the real reason we invited him to be here was to present him with an award. The Henny Miller Superfan Award was established in 2012 and is presented to someone who shares Henny's commitment, love, and passion for the Panthers, and I can't think of a more deserving person than you, JS.
It fits. Thank you, man. Thank you. You guys are stinky.
There are several of you here tonight who have been honored with College Sports Communicators Academic All-District recognition. Congratulations, you are all deserving of praise. But there's one individual I'd like to single out as our lone academic All-American among us this year from men's soccer. Let's give a round of applause to Faisal Abdallah. And now let's get on with the show, as they say. Our first group is known as Plymouth State's 26th team. They have the longest season of anyone, starting with football's return in early August, lasting the entire academic year. Our athletic trainers. In the past, I have made cracks about Mark Legacy's love-hate relationship with public speaking, and I guess that's probably a misnomer because it's really more of a hate-hate relationship. But somehow he has yet again managed to weasel his way out of speaking in front of everyone, as the athletic trainer winner is currently completing her immersion rotation at Coastal Carolina University. So we'd like to recognize her just the same, and Mark gets off the hook. Congratulations to Nikki Wallen, winner of the 2023 Athletic Training Panther Award. And now we'll move to the hardwood, where our men's basketball team battled through injuries off and on all season. Kyler Bose claimed second-team All-LEC honors, but in my opinion, the season highlight had to be on senior day. An overtime win against Rick, when Tom Johnson poured in a career-high 30 points to keep the Anchormen from a spot in the LEC tournament. Head coach Andrew Novick and the seniors, please come forward.
I'll be doing a photo of you with your seniors.
Okay, yeah.
Once they get their awards.
We had three great seniors this year: Sean Menard, Georgie Siclori, and Tommy Johnson. So let's give them a round of applause. The Panther Award for men's basketball is voted on by the players. Each player gets a vote. Each vote is weighted equally. And at the end, we tally results and announce our Panther Award winner. The best way to talk about this Panther Award winner is to understand what he means to us when he's not on the floor. In early January, we were sort of fighting to get back into the conference with a tough road game at Southern Maine, and we were handling them pretty good, up 9 in the second half, when all of a sudden our Panther Award winner went down. He went down, we lost the game, and that was sort of the summation of our season. But it spoke a lot to his value on the floor. He was always able to guard 5 positions on the floor. He was a tenacious defender. He was a very skilled offensive player. He was a leader by his passion and yet his poise. And we expect really big things for him on the court next year. What makes him even more special is that he's a role model in the community. He's a phenomenal student and someone we all admire. This year's Panther Award winner is Eli Swanson.
So at this event last year, I committed just about the biggest blunder someone in my role could have, and yet Kim still asked me to come back and do this again. I failed to mention perhaps one of the biggest accomplishments in the department. In the fall of 2021, our women's cross-country team captured its first Little East Conference title, and then senior Kim Bowles was the first individual champion in women's program history. And I might have failed to mention that at these awards last year. So my apologies to the women's cross-country team, and let's congratulate them appropriately. Now let's fast forward to this fall. It was Mike Olson winning the men's title, and our men's team won its first LEC championship in a landslide, while the women had a pair of top 20 finishers to place 5th. And as we look at the track and field season, thrower Jacob Rigoli continued to cement himself as the finest thrower in school history, claiming his 2nd All-American at the weight throw at indoor championships, and is looking to make his first appearance at outdoor nationals after breaking the school record in the hammer throw to win the LEC title just last weekend. On the women's side, it's been a year of record breaking as Athena Como set a new mark in the 200 meters during indoor season, and Mackenzie Labrie smashed the 100-meter record this spring. Emily Philbrook demolished the record in the 10,000 meters, and last weekend, our women's 4x100 meter relay team set the program best for the 2nd time this spring. So now to present the cross-country and track and field Panther Awards, let's have head coach John Osler and our seniors please come forward.
Mike Olson, Colin Moore, Brent Coop, Patrick Williston, Owen Billen, Jordan Veely, Jade Geezy, Rachel Mello, Janelle Kitchen, Mike Barrett, Justin Schokel, Jacob Rigoli, Sierra Isaacson, Abby Hurley, Luke Gomes, and Nick Beal.
We're probably going to have to do 2 rows.
Okay, that's fine. Yeah.
Oh my God.
Guys, let's do, shoot. Let's do men in back and the women in front for 2 rows.
I'm too short for that.
Coach, do tell, man, you got some recruiting to do to make up for this class. All right, I'll start as they get settled here. But the first thing I'd like to do is say thank you to the great athletic trainers that we had, Micah and Sierra and their staffs. A round of applause for them. Thank you to Kim and her whole leadership team. And then, yeah, a round of applause for them. And then also the biggest thank you to my great assistant coaches with whom I could not do this without, Brian Dutel, Alice Field, Will Tift, and Kyle Mao. Women's cross country. For women's cross country, we have training logs, which the women, they write in every single week. It's just it's a log. It's a pretty rudimentary binder where they track their mileage and workout effort and so on and so forth. And at the bottom of the each week, there's an opportunity there to kind of shout out your teammate, right? Just kind of say something that someone did that impressed you or was helpful, just something to kind of highlight something that somebody did that was good. And as I read them week after week, there was a person that just, their name just kept coming up over and over and over again. And I thought that, man, this seems like an inordinate amount of times that this person is being written about. And so I did decide to do the math on it. 15 women on the cross-country team, 12 weeks, so 180 opportunities for shout-outs. And this person was mentioned 63 times by their teammates as doing something really good, supporting them, having a great race, really mentally tough in a workout, or just kind of being there as a friend and a teammate. And that was by far the biggest percentage that we had. When she did her goal meeting with me in the beginning of the season, she said that, I just want to do whatever the team needs me to do, and I just want to be a good teammate, and she sure did. Just take it from her teammates themselves. So the Women's Cross Country Panther Award winner goes to Lexi Marcolini. The hallmark of the men's track and field Panther Award winner is not just positivity, but positivity in the face of perseverance. I think anybody can kind of persevere, but the more that you go through difficult things, the more that you just kind of get tougher, the more that you get calcified. I think what impressed me the most is not that this person just kept persevering, but they kept coming to practice, smile on their face, positive attitude, ready to give their absolute best, whether it was if they happen to be jumping, or whether they were doing rehab, or whatever it was. And this person's going on to be an AT when he graduates, and I just think that that's such a great trait to have in that profession, because you're going to see athletes at their lowest, when they're frustrated, when their patience is the least, and they're all going to be better for having him as an AT, because he is going to carry through with that professionalism and that positivity, even in some tough times. And I've appreciated having him on the team to kind of set that tone for 4 years. Men's track and field Panther Award winner, Owen Billen. On the women's track and field side, I had a different speech that I was thinking about up until this past weekend when we had our conference championship. Thank you. And something happened this weekend that I think kind of crystallized why I'm giving her this award more than any kind of platitude-filled speech could do. She was in her last race, the 100 hurdles, and she was off to a great start. First 3 hurdles were excellent, and then all of a sudden, a woman from UMass Boston in the lane next to her tripped over a hurdle and fell into her lane, and she had to do this like Saquon Barkley spin move, hurdle her, and then hurdle a hurdle. needless to say, it was like kind of a disaster, but I was really proud of her for just persevering. She finished the race, even though she knew it wasn't going to be a great time. And for me, like if that had happened to me in my last competition, I think I would have handled it a lot worse. I was going to the finish line thinking that I was going to get this like crying mess. But what I encountered when I got to her was, she was like, did you see how fast Alana ran? Did you see how fast Megan ran? Oh my God, they're going to do so well in the final. And that was just such a moment of pride for me, that she wasn't concerned about herself, but she was just so happy and proud in her teammates. And that's who she's been for 4 years. And there is a little bit of a happy ending to the story. She actually did end up making the final later that day and had a good race in her second crack at it. So there was some cosmic justice there. But as a sophomore, she told me that she wanted to be a leader on this team, and she kept that promise. So the Panther Award for women's track and field goes to Jordan Veely. Congrats, Jordan.
Thank you.
And last but not least, men's cross country. You heard Chris say that we were fortunate enough to be the Little East Conference champions in men's cross country this past year. Great accomplishment, something I'm immensely proud of. And we're going to do it again next year. We bring back some of our best runners. We're adding some new talent. And every one of them has the will to prepare over the summer and through the fall to make it happen again. But despite all that, even with all that stuff going in our favor, it's going to be tougher to win next year than it was this year, because with this graduating class, we're losing our soul. This person has the highest capacity for empathy on our team. He is someone who genuinely cares about his teammates. He's not only a tough, clutch, gritty racer, but he's the one who gets what it means to be on a team more than anybody else. I was thinking about it. He's going to be a teacher when he graduates from here. And, I had an occasion to kind of think about teachers and how important they are. My wife and I are expecting our first child in August. And I think that, oh, yeah. Thanks. I'm doing very little of the work at the moment. But I think the biggest compliment that I can give this person is that when my child, when he or she is in 5th grade taking social studies, I hope they have this person as a teacher, because I think he's just going to be terrific, and I just have the utmost respect for who he is as a person. And we couldn't have won this past fall without him, and his absence is going to make it incredibly difficult for us to win again next year. But we'll do our damnedest to honor his memory. So the Men's Cross Country Panther Award winner is Brent Koop.
We've talked about the steady improvement that our wrestling team has had over the past several years, and this winter we saw it start to pay dividends as the squad posted multiple dual meet wins for the first time in 5 years, which included a wild come-from-behind win at NEC, thanks in part to a huge technical fall win by Yuri Case. So, seniors from the wrestling team, could you come up? If anybody's ever been around the PE Center for more than 3 seconds, you've probably run into one or both of these guys, Trevor and Tyler O'Mara. And unfortunately, head coach Eric Bergeron couldn't be here tonight, so presenting the Wrestler Panther Award in his place is Courtney O'Clair.
Eric is sorry he couldn't be here tonight, but he left a speech for me to read. He'd like to start off by thanking the administration, especially OC. They have been nothing but supportive throughout his time here, and he very much appreciated it, so well done to us. Eric would like to congratulate all the other award recipients and their team success throughout the school year. This year, the wrestling team had an up and down season, but continues to put in the effort to have the attitude for it to grow and succeed. This season, they had 4 different tournament placers and had a huge comeback victory against NEC. This year's Panther Award winner is a huge reason why this program continues to strive forward and has helped establish a culture that every coach hopes for. 4 years ago, they were lucky enough to find a guy from Litchfield that fit the program and had the mentality to take it to the next level. Fortunately, he had an identical twin, so it was a 2-for-1 deal. This year's award winner is a 3-time All-NUA academic team member, captain of the team, and has been a role model on and off the mat. Eric and the team can't wait to see how far this individual goes with his career. This year's Panther Award winner is Trevor O'Mara. Congratulations.
Thank you.
Front of the table. Awesome. Congratulations.
Hey, thank you.
Next up, we will pitch it to the baseball team. Evan, we didn't even need the laugh sign, which is currently playing at Southern Maine. The Panther hardballers have shown grit and determination throughout the year as new coach Ryan McIntosh works to establish a new team culture. That never quit attitude could probably best be defined in the team's 4 walk-off wins, which included an unbelievable come-from-behind victory over Colby Sawyer just a couple of weeks ago. The guys were trailing 9-1 in the bottom of the 7th inning and ended up scoring 10 runs in the final 4 innings to win 11-10. Coach Mack asked me to read the following tonight. He actually didn't thank me, so I'm a little disappointed. Moving forward, the Panther Award for baseball will not be given to the MVP, the player with the best offensive stats, or the player with the best stats on the mound. We spent a lot of time developing the 4 pillars of a winning mentality, and the Panther Award will be given to the player who best embodies these pillars. Pillar 1 is academics. We talk about competing in the classroom as we compete on the field, and there's no such thing as a winner on the field and a loser in the classroom. Pillar number 2 is off-the-field behavior. We talk about having our priorities straight: family, academics, and athletics. Pillar 3 is being a good teammate and not only holding yourself accountable, but your teammates as well. And pillar 4 is the approach to practice in games, that hard hat mentality, punching the clock when you step on the field and punching out when you leave. Tonight's winner has maintained a 3.0 or better GPA every semester at Plymouth State. He's not once been even the slightest concern when thinking about off-the-field actions. As a first-year player, he was welcomed into the group on day 1 and became a leader for newcomers and upperclassmen alike, holding himself and others accountable and being a vocal leader. This individual did not play nearly as much as he would have liked, and he battled through injuries, yet still left practice every night in a pool of sweat, always locked into the task at hand. In short, he nailed the 4 pillars. Thank you, Coach Castonia, for letting me borrow him this spring. This year's Panther Award winner is Jack Marsden. Now, the fall season seems like it was an eternity ago, but let's reflect on the volleyball team's year. Panthers won their 3rd straight regular season title, topped the 20-win threshold for the 3rd straight full season, and while I think we all agree the result of the championship match wasn't quite the way any of us had hoped, We do have to mention the unbelievable performance of a pair of players, Riley McNeely and Michaela Marucci. You can cheer. So in the championship match, Riley had 20 kills. Her previous career high was 10. She didn't make a single attack error the entire 5 sets. As a former volleyball coach, that's pretty damn good. And Michaela just threw up a career best 30 digs, so she didn't do too bad either. So seniors, please come forward, and along with head coach Joan Forge.
Natalie Gravel and Emily Flanagan are our 2 seniors. And while they're getting their gifts, big round of applause for both of them. Photo op first. I'm making Emily stay right here. Emily has been selected by her teammates to receive the Panther Award. So a big congratulations to Emily. Stand right there, come forward, look good. Oh, I'll come back for that. You want to do it now? We can do it now. Glasses off. Okay. I will say some things. First, I just want to thank Kim Bounds and the athletic administration. They are just so wonderful to work for. So I think they deserve a huge round of applause. Thank you, Kim. And we also have our athletic trainer, head trainer, Mark Legacy takes care of us, and JT makes us stronger. So both of you, thank you so much. A lot of our success is because of you. All right, so I want to start with a little background on Emily. Emily is the youngest of 4 sisters, and all 4 of them attended Plymouth State University, which is amazing. 3 of the sisters played the sport of volleyball in both high school and here at PSU. Nikki, Alicia, and Emily, while in high school, all 3 of them were named New Hampshire Volleyball Players of the Year by the New Hampshire High School Volleyball Coaches Association. That's some pretty darn good genes. I had the privilege and honor of coaching both Emily and Alicia. Emily was a freshman when Alicia was a senior and captain of her team. And it's a coach's dream to have both Flanagans on the court at the same time. 4 years ago, I was standing here handing out the Panther Award to Alicia. Needless to say, the word volleyball is synonymous with the Flanagan sisters. My husband is a high school volleyball official, and he was watching Emily play in a few matches at the high school level, and he told me, you need to recruit Emily. She is a game changer. And it's like, okay, Rick, I'll try. So did I or did I not try my best for 2 years trying to get Emily to commit, telling her she needed to play with her sister, she needs to come to Plymouth State, and she very politely said, no way, all of my sisters went there and I'm not going. Well, she became one of the latest players ever to commit to the volleyball program. I think you held out until late spring, early summer before she finally agreed to play. Prior to Emily coming to our program, our record was 11-21, and then she came and we were 32-5, 23-3, 21-7. Emily's overall Plymouth State volleyball record is 76 wins and 15 losses for a .835 winning percentage. She is in the top 10 in the PSU volleyball record book numerous times for her blocking and her volleyball hitting skills. She's received multiple LEC honors as well. She basically was a phenom on the court, and our program benefited from her height and her athleticism. And I hate to admit it when my husband is right, but yes, Emily was a game changer. As captain of our team, Emily's teammates absolutely adore her. She is kind, caring, soft-spoken, and she hates to lose. I would be remiss if I didn't mention Emily's mom, Sandy. She was with the PSU volleyball program for many years, watching the 3 daughters that played here. Sandy was one of the most dedicated, supportive parents, traveling to almost every home and away match, making baked goods for us for after the game. And Chris Kilmer, he was the volleyball coach prior to me, and the first thing he said when I took the program over is, wait until you try one of Sandy's baked goods. Emily, I'm not sure who the team is going to miss the most, and the coaches too, whether it's you or your mom. She knows. We have a tradition in our program, Big Sister, Little Sisters, and Emily's little sister for the past 2 years was sophomore Lily Stogner. And I asked Lily to describe Emily and what Emily brings to the court. Lily said the following: Emily is a strong leader who has powerful presence on the court. She cares about her teammates and brings her team together. She's very humble, makes people smile, and gives her teammates the confidence needed to compete. Thank you, Lily, for those comments. In closing, I want to mention that Emily, for the longest time, didn't know how good she was. It wasn't until late in her volleyball career when she gained confidence and finally started to believe in herself and her abilities. She made a comment to me after a match toward the end of her junior year, and she said, "Coach, I think I'm pretty good at this." And my response was, "Yes, Emily, you are pretty good at volleyball." The Panther Award for the volleyball team goes to Captain Emily Flanagan. Now I get the baby.
She's not lying. Cupcake brownies are really good. It was an incredible year for our swim teams. On the men's side, Alex Wazuliko won the program's first ever LEC title with a win in the 50 fly. The team captured the program's first dual meet win with an emphatic victory over Colby Sawyer. And literally every individual record and 4 out of 5 relay marks were set this winter. On the women's side, Kira Donahue and Jess McGregor both posted third-place finishes at LECs, and the team had an exciting dual meet wins over both WestCon and Rhode Island College. Head coach Ann Barbeau couldn't be here tonight, but seniors, if you could please come on up, and then we'll have Lauren Levine start presenting the Panther Award. Just you, right?
Just me.
It's just Kira.
Chris, you said it was up here somewhere. Okay, that's why.
Your paper was in your pocket.
All right. All right, so before I do the Panther Award winner, I think we all should acknowledge all the work that Chris Kilmer does. He's in the booth, he's late nights writing your stories. Chris puts his heart and soul into everything he does. So on behalf of the department, want to thank Chris Kilmer for all his hard work. Thank you, Chris. All right, so on the women's side for PSU swimming, this year's female Panther Award winner has been devoted to our team from the moment she stepped on campus, because she came from Keene, but anyways, hold that thought. She's a true leader on the pool deck and in the weight room, and always giving it her all. Her hard work and dedication paid off as she earned academic all-district honors, which celebrates the nation's top student athletes with a near-perfect GPA. She also earned PSU Athlete of the Month in January and was PSU's top female swimmer all season long. At the Little East Championships, she came in 7th in the 100-yard butterfly, 6th in the 100-yard freestyle, and brought home the bronze in the 50-yard butterfly. We're very proud of our team captain, who constantly encouraged everyone to work their hardest and kept everyone on track. She's driven and disciplined as an athlete and a student, and we'd all like to wish her all the best. She's got great things to come. I'm proud to announce Kira Donahue of the PSU swim team.
I know, every time you bring it up.
I always beat her to bring it up.
Thank you.
You got it.
And we're actually going to flip the switch a little bit and have one of our student athletes come up to present the men's swimming award, Ryan Kudish.
This is the most people I've ever spoken in front of, so give me a break here. So at this time, I would like to relay a message from Coach Ann about our winner. Our Swimming Panther Award winner is a true success story. The transformation of this young man has been truly remarkable over the past couple of years. This man has embraced the sport and the team, giving 100% in the pool, the weight room, and the classroom. He earned academic all-district honors and has been a part of 9 school records, either individually or as a relay member during the 2022-23 season. He owns the program's best times in all 3 backstroke distances. At LEC championships, he placed 7th in the 100 back and 6th in the 50 and 200 backstroke. This year's recipient is our captain, who truly leads by example, and his dedication is appreciated by all, as he's been voted team captain for, once again, for the 2023-24 season. Now, that's the end of Ann's speech, but I got a little personal thing to say. He's been my roommate at LECs. He's been my roommate at away meets and relays and swimming. I'm usually the one who jumps over him in relays as the backstroker and might be the breaststroker. His hard work pushes me every single day to be the best swimmer I can be. I'm going to miss training with him next year in the same lane. None of my practices on Masters teams are going to be the same. I'm looking forward to where you bring this team next year, and I'll be watching from afar over in the cold tundra of Green Bay. Your 2023 Men's Swimming Panther Award winner is Mr. Lyden Fogg.
The women's soccer team posted 5 shutouts this season and had the most all-conference honorees since 1995, as Molly Belmore, Kara Easter, Ashley Plant, Michaela Palhoff, and Erin Camerata all earned all-conference recognition. And for the first time in a long time, we had somebody earn national recognition, as Molly Belmore was named United Soccer Coach's National Player of the Week early in the season. Scored 3 goals and added 2 assists in her first 2 collegiate games. Set the standard pretty high, Molly. In his final act as coach, please welcome Ryan Joy and the senior class to the stage.
We have Abby Johnson, Emily Hake, and Michaela Palhoff. And Gigi Wood is not here today, but she'll be receiving one as well. Thank you. So as fate would have it, I was sitting on the couch this afternoon trying to figure out what I would say tonight, and the phone rang. And like most of us do, when you don't recognize the number, you let it go to voicemail. So I listened to the voicemail, and this person was asking me for a recommendation for one of my players who's looking for an apartment. I didn't realize that landlords now look for recommendations just to stay in their apartments, but I guess that's what they do in 2023. So instead of me calling this person back, I sent her a text message, and I went, this is actually everything of a relationship that you've had with a player for 5 or 6 years in a nutshell in one paragraph. So I'm going to read you the text I sent to this landlord this afternoon. Hello, who I don't know. If this helps, she doesn't know yet, but tonight she is getting the Panther Award for the women's soccer team at Plymouth State. It's the most prestigious award for any sport team. I only get one per year to hand out. If that gives you an idea of her character and how highly I think of her. She's a top 10 player that I've ever had, and to be fair, she would have been the 6th all-conference player had she not injured herself at Keene this past season. I didn't say that to her. I'm ad-libbing a little. She's a top 10 player I've ever had and a top 5 person I've ever known. I would vouch for her 100 times over. And I'll add one more thing, too. She's the #1 best impersonator of Coach Joy. This year's Women's Soccer 2023 Panther Award recipient, Sarah Hicks, come on up here. It's been a hell of a ride. And she did the right thing. She told me the lady was going to be calling. So anyone here who's ever asking for a recommendation from a coach, notify them first. It's good way to go about business.
I asked Sarah to do the impersonation, but she said no. Let's head to the mountains where our ski teams had a remarkable year. On the women's side, anchored by NCAA qualifiers Tinder Bergstrand and Hannah Larson Nathorst, the team won the Harvard Carnival Giant Slalom. That's the program's first carnival win since joining the EISA in 2012. Hannah won 3 straight carnival races and narrowly missed sweeping All-American honors in both disciplines at NCAA's by like 0.2 seconds in both events. And on the men's side, Max Hausman was the definition of consistency. 8 top 10 finishes, and including an incredible second run in the slalom at NCAA's to finish 7th in the country, the men's best finish at NCAA's in school history. And capturing All-American honors in the process. Seniors and head coach Trevor Hamilton, please come forward.
We have a couple of seniors that aren't here, but the ones that are here, we got Cam Len up there, Macy St. Cyr, and there's Zoe Simpson and Ava Pavlik. Unable to be here, Liam McKim and Carmela Olmo. Our season started pretty strong this year. We go to Montana every year for an on-snow camp. It's a tough job, but somebody has to do it. We were at Big Sky for about a week. The coldest day of the entire season for us was the first day we were on snow. It was 20 below as we stepped out onto the hill out there. And we went from there. When we got back, it was quite a challenge, as you all know. We had a strange winter with a lot of warm weather. We struggled on through, and we had a pretty successful year after that. I got a lot of people to thank, but they've been thanked a bunch, so I don't want to go through it again. Kim and all her staff, and JT, and Mark, and my assistant coach, Jeff, who's not here right now. And also want to make sure I thank the captains, Franny and Dan, for all they do for the team. So great job, you guys. Wanted to thank Matt Rudd for doing a really good video for us. If you guys haven't seen it, check it out on the website on the ski team page. It's really cool. He came to the Waterville. It was a Harvard Carnival at Waterville that the girls actually won that carnival for the first time, and Hannah won her first carnival. It was a pretty amazing piece of timing. And Sandra McGar from Admissions, who helps us out a lot with our internationals, and of course the boss, Kim, back there. Just a quick run through the numbers on our season before I do the awards for the two Panthers for the skiing. I'll go by the numbers for you. We had a pretty successful year. 7 different athletes on our team won a ski race this year. That's 33% of our total roster won races. 11 different athletes found the podium, which is about 50% of our team were on the podium this year. We had a Panther skier on the podium in 26 different ski races. And we had 2 races up in Ontario this spring with the women swept the podium, so first, second, and third, which is a pretty amazing thing. We had an athlete named ESA Rookie of the Year in Hannah Larson-Nathorst, which is a first for the program. We had an athlete named ESA Rookie of the Year. That was, again, Hannah, which is a first for the program. We had 3 to NCAA National Skiing Championships against the best alpine skiing collegiate athletes in the country. And from that, at Lake Placid, we had Max Hausman, as was already mentioned, became a collegiate All-American. And not only was he 7th in the race, but he was the 4th fastest athlete down the hill the second round of the slalom. It's a pretty amazing accomplishment. So we'll go on to the Panther Award. We do it mostly by results and by contribution to the team, and it made it pretty easy for that to happen this year. And I want to recognize first for the women's team, our Panther Award winner is someone who came in as a freshman and dominated the sport by mid-season, went to the Harvard Carnival and won both events, backed it up the next week with a win at the first in the slalom at the Williams Carnival, and was ESA Rookie of the Year, narrowly missed All-American, and sadly has been recruited by UVM, one of the top ski schools in the country, with a full scholarship for the rest of her college career. So it's bittersweet, but come on down, Hannah. Hannah Larson-Nathorst. On the guys' side, this individual last year as a freshman was very dominant. He was in the top 10 a lot, and they only take 17 athletes to the NCAA National Championships from the East and 17 from the West. He was the 18th qualifier last year, first man out. I think it motivated him a little bit, and he came back this year and was top 5 most of the time. Never found the podium, but was 4th more times than I could count. He battled a pretty painful injury to his toe. Then he went to NCAA championships and was a collegiate All-American. Really proud of him. Really hard worker, very intelligent, brings a lot to the table for the program, Max Hausman. The house.
Before we move on to the field hockey team, I wanted us all to acknowledge the career of head coach Bonnie Lord. So Coach Lord took over the field hockey program in the 2000 season, which probably means that most of you weren't born yet. She racked up 274 career wins, which is not only the most in program history, but the fourth most of any head coach in the history of Plymouth State athletics. And while she was formally acknowledged at a ceremony during the season, we wanted to take a second in front of the entire department to say thank you, Bonnie, for all that you've done for Plymouth State, Panthers athletics, and of course, the field hockey program. Yeah, you can come up. Sure. On the field, the Panthers had a remarkable year. We finished one overtime loss away from the regular season title and top seed for the tournament. Boasted the most wins since the 2017 season, and Taylor Healy established a new program record for points in a season. Seniors, come on up and join Coach Lord.
Thanks, Chris. Yeah. Alessia Salzillo and Melanie Mesa. Good evening. Congratulations to all of the graduating seniors, the Panther Award recipients, all 22-23 teams, and good luck to the spring teams as you move into the playoffs next week. Many thanks to our dedicated athletic administration team, athletic training, JT and staff, Aaron, and our forever biggest fans, the communication and broadcast teams. A special thank you to my assistant coach, Kate McPherson, for your dedication, passion, energy, and love of PSU field hockey. I'll meet you on the golf course. Congrats and welcome and best of luck to Coach Molly Saunders as you continue the PSU field hockey tradition that you know so well. Tonight, I am presenting the Field Hockey Panther Award for the 23rd and final time. Every year, it has been a proud moment as we recognize a player who contributes passion for field hockey, commitment to team, and by her actions and attitude, and her leadership. It is said that leaders are born, not made, that they have a natural instinct to read and interpret the people that they are responsible to and for. Leadership is challenging. Leaders never get a day off. Leaders are not given respect, they earn it every day by their ideas, expectations, work ethic, and team-first attitude. Everyone in this room understands how important team culture is to have a unified, successful team bond. Leaders know the challenges to create, maintain, and sustain a healthy team culture. The Spring 22 squad recognized the necessity to improve our team culture if we were to be healthy and successful in the fall. Together, we set a goal of building a positive, fun, and respected culture. The captains and the players embraced this challenge, led by determined leaders, senior Alessia Salzillo and juniors Jenna Frenny and Taylor Healy. And the work began. The hard work on and off the field paid off, and the 2022 season was absolutely the best. I am excited to see you all continue the great work in 2023. The Field Hockey Panther Award is a prestigious honor and is presented to a player who in turn makes the most players feel valuable by her actions, commitment, dedication, and team-first attitude. Our recipient has been a leader of change, an organizer, a hard worker on and off the field, in the classroom, and in and out of season. She started every game in 2022. She is a D3 Academic All-American, a National Scholar of Distinction, is on the National Academic Squad, and the LEC Academic Honor Roll. She is always the first to volunteer, the last to leave the locker room, and the positive voice on the field, the sideline, in the locker room, and at workouts with JT. She leads with her heart, her passion for the game, and the love of her team. She is a natural leader, a dedicated teammate, and will continue to lead in 2023 with fun, fairness, high expectations, positivity, and purpose. It is with a great deal of pleasure that Coach Kate and I present the 2022 Field Hockey Panther Award to Junior Captain Jenna Frenny. You're hot now. Congratulations, you're shaking. I know. A little nervous. Now you have to speak. No, kidding. Oh, Jesus. You go, what, you need your best side? Yeah. Yeah? I'm shaking. Yes, you are. Thank you, John. You earned it. You earned it. Thanks, folks.
And now let's head to the ice in women's ice hockey. Sana Augustin buried a power play goal midway through the third period to lift Plymouth State to a 3-2 win over Curry, giving rookie head coach Molly Fitzpatrick her first career victory. And in one of the biggest highlights, in late January, Emily DeSimone was named NEHC Player of the Week after potting a hat trick in a win at New England College. The seniors and Coach Fitzpatrick, please come forward.
Do I help? We got Sophie Street here, Addie Swanson, Chantel Ross, Taylor Thomas, Meg Hamilton, Abby McGee. Is that it? That's it, right? Yeah. This is the senior group. Oh. So I want to thank everyone just for the opportunity to get to work here and be at a place like Plymouth State. I've come here many years in competition, but to actually be part of this community is a really, really cool thing. So I want to thank the athletic department, all you guys, students, for doing everything you can and wearing the uniform in an appropriate way to represent what this school stands for. So this year was my first year as a head coach, and I had the opportunity to get to know all these kids on the women's hockey team. And it was a blast. As unfortunate as our record was, it was a pretty good time, I think. They might have a different answer, but we got to grow a lot and got to be a lot better people for one another. But there's one kid that definitely stood out to me that I think is a good recipient for the Panther Award. And so this kid is someone that is going to be a teacher. She would come to the rink all hot and bothered, basically a hot mess is what I would describe her as. And she'd show up and she'd get on the ice and she's just gung-ho nonstop. She'd come to the bench during games and she's like all disheveled and she's just dying. And then I'm like, hey, Addie, are you gonna be good to go for the next one? She's like, yeah, absolutely. And it was just that relentless thing that Kim was talking about. Jesus, sorry. The relentlessness that Kim was talking about and the hard work, and to kind of go off what John was saying about what his kids would want to have as a teacher. I don't have any kids personally, but if I could go back and be, an elementary kid, I would love to have Addie Swanson be my teacher. So, so this goes to Addie, and get on up here, Addie. Nice.
Thank you. I'll tell you this second.
Okay. Oh, jeez.
And since we're on rookie head coaches, let's move over to women's lacrosse. So this spring, Julia Donovan and Olivia Croak both surpassed the 100-point threshold. And Emily Santum scored her 100th career goal in a win against UMass Dartmouth last month. But more importantly, the Panthers locked up the number 2 seed for the tournament over the weekend and host a semifinal game on Thursday night. We expect you all to be there. Seniors and head coach Becky Dale, it's your turn.
Lower this. We have seniors Julia Mahoney, Emily Santum, Sarah Shartner, Olivia Croak, Autumn Nelson, and Jalen Cook. Alrighty. So, as a coaching staff, we discussed the Panther Award and who would be a good candidate this year. From our perspective, we have seen this player go above and beyond in her leadership role. Her level of humility, character, and passion for the sport is something coaches aspire to have as a role model to their team. With our winner in mind, we wanted to have the conversation go further than our office walls. We understand the importance of the player perspective, as we don't know everything that happens behind the scenes, and let's just say that's probably a good thing. When we asked the team who they thought should be this year's recipient, these were a few of their responses. Julia Mahoney. Not only does she exemplify great leadership on the field, but also off the field. Even when unfortunate circumstances have occurred, Julia has put her role as captain above herself and showed up for the team in every single way. I think everyone looks up to Julia as a player, but more importantly, as a person and how she carries herself. Another teammate said, "She has been an amazing leader this year. She keeps us all in check. While never speaking to us in a way that is unkind or upsetting, she reaches out to people individually if she recognizes they are getting down on themselves and embodies what it means to be a leader." Lastly, one of her teammates said, "She is not just our captain, she is the glue that keeps our team together. There is no doubt that she leads on and off the field and is a person I look up to most. Julia setting this example makes me want to be just like her when I go through college, always keeping her head high and extending a hand to those in need. She is the most selfless person I know. When she got hurt, she wasn't worried about her playing time or her stats. She feared that she was letting the team down. Although that's not the case, and she didn't let anyone down, it shows her character. She has been at practice every day, fulfilling a new role. She has given back and encouragement daily and lifting everyone's spirits. Now, I know some might say she got it last year, but so what? I have confidence that Julia Mahoney is a Panther with or without the Panther Award." This year's Panther Award is presented to senior captain Julia Mahoney.
Thank you. Love you.
All right.
Nice job up there.
From the women's basketball team, Sophie George became the first Rookie of the Year since Plymouth State Hall of Famer Courtney Albert earned the honor during the 1999-2000 season. Her 332 points were the most in a year since 2018-19, and Plymouth State posted the most wins in 4 years. To present the seniors and, ready, Panther Award winners, Assistant Coach Sophia Lozan. Seniors, come on up too, please.
We've got Haley Hurd, Autumn Nelson, Sarah Sweet, Jalen Cook, and Emily Van Steensberg. Hello. First, want to start by saying I thoroughly enjoyed this past season with a great group of athletes and will forever cherish the memories we created together. The following is a prepared statement from Leah Swanson, who unfortunately could not make it tonight. This year's Women's Basketball Panther Award winner is Sabrina Fahavik. I had the pleasure of meeting Sabrina in my first year as head coach. What I did not know was what a positive impact she would have on this program, and especially me. I'd like to change the definition of a word you might assume would be taken in a different context, redefining the word loud. Sabrina defines the word loud, but I'm not talking about her volume, not in the way you might assume. Let's start with the first letter, L. She is a clear definition of leadership. She leads by example, by will, and by passion. She is a team player and demands greatness for herself and her academics and her game. She does not accept anything less than, and she leads the way for others. O, a true original, the OG, a one of a kind. No other individual like her, and everyone she meets, is that much better than before. She takes care of her teammates, supports them, and she shows up for them. U, understanding. She is honest, she is respectable, and she is good. She is an authentic individual, everything a coach can ask in a student athlete, and a leader on their team. D, driven. Adversity is a difficulty that many, if not all, people face in their life. It can be unbearable to balance the workload of a student athlete on top of practices and games. Sabrina fought through injuries and circumstances that were far out of her control, but her drive and determination never wavered. It only got stronger. So lastly, I know most of you can agree that when you think of the word loud and you put it next to Sabrina, it is not just because you can hear her laugh from the next town over. It is because she exemplifies these traits, and all these traits are heard, felt, and seen. Congratulations being this year's Women's Basketball Panther Award winner.
Let's now head to a team with postseason aspirations as softball is still in the hunt for a spot in the LEC tournament. Jade Girton and Keely Wells made appearances on the NFCA top performers list recently. And both Kate McGrath and Emily Antrim have earned Pitcher of the Week honors. I think most excitingly, Kate was especially dominant in a complete game win over nationally ranked Belhaven during the team's spring break trip. Would the seniors and head coach Mike Bernier please come up?
Rachel Parslow, Abigail McGee, Sam McCann. All right. Thank you all for being here. So this year's 2023 Panther Award recipient goes to someone who she transferred in, I believe it was 4 years ago. She transferred in from a D2 program that is now a D1 program, Merrimack College. She epitomizes what hard work, intestinal fortitude is all about. We have a lot of youth on the team this year, a lot of freshmen, a lot of sophomores that were starting. She led lift. I call her a ball magnet because the ball would always find her, foul balls, even errant throws in the field, and she was constantly getting hurt. There were times where she couldn't play, but she was out there at practice, just being part of the team, being a really good leader for the future of this program. So it was nice to see her lead in that manner. There was times during the season where she could play, but she wasn't in the lineup, and she was helping the younger players who were getting an opportunity on the finer points of the game within the game. And it was almost like there was another coach on the field. In addition to that, she has graduated, but she's in the master's program, so she's got the master's classes that she's taking, and she also holds down a full-time job. So all the while just being out there every day, whether she could play or not. And again, like I said, just leading by example. So this year's Panther Award goes to Emily Picard. Emily is not here. She had something that she had to take care of, unfortunately. So she sent me a text message. She was here, but she had to leave the building. Is Lauren Archambault here? All right, Lauren. Lauren was last year's recipient, so Lauren is also in the grad program and still with us. So come on up, Lauren. Thank you. All right, thanks. Welcome back. Yeah. Oh, look at that. Yeah. All right. Let's get. Yeah.
Another one?
Yeah.
Oh, you got too many with you.
Yeah.
It's been a historic spring for the men's lacrosse team. The Panthers set a new program record for wins in a season with a thrilling overtime victory over Keene State on Friday night. Good way to kick off Spring Fling weekend. Crosby Fay scored his 100th career goal. Owen McNichols tied the record for goalie wins in a season. And the guys are home tomorrow night for a big first-round game against EastCon, so let's make sure that we're all there to cheer them on. Seniors and head coach Mike Willis, come on out.
One of them has class tonight. So it's not here. All right, we got Nick Drew, Joe Lusardo, Carl Flinter, Jake Dolce-Mascola, Ian Gibbons, and Declan Alexander. All right, I'm super honored to present this year's Panther Award winner for the men's lacrosse team. When I think of the Panther Award, I think of a team first player, someone who cares deeply about team success, someone that's willing to do anything that he's asked to make that happen, even if that means supporting his teammates from the sideline. So this athlete transferred to us as a sophomore, and in his first season made a pretty big impact on the field in that first season. His junior year, he had a little bit more of a backup role. But one thing about this guy is you never saw him complain. You never saw him, ask questions. He just came every single day and just showed up to practice with a smile on his face, ready to work hard, ready to make his teammates better. And this year started the same for this guy. However, first game of the year at UNE, we had a defenseman go down, and this guy's number got called, and he made, 2 huge plays at the end of the game to kind of seal that victory for us and start the season on a good note. And I remember going up to him at the end of the game and just giving him a huge hug. I was so proud to see a guy like that battled some adversity, that continued to work hard, got his number called, and was able to get in there and make a play for us. One thing about Joe is, sorry, I ruined it there, Joe. One thing about this guy is that he has a huge heart. Just as much as Joe is on the field, he's just an absolute amazing teammate. Whenever his friends, teammates need support, I know that Joe's there for him. So I'm really proud and excited to see what Joe will accomplish after graduation. Congrats, Joe Lusardo.
Coach. Thank you so much.
Let's head over to another program with a new head coach. Women's tennis extended its streak to 9 straight years in the postseason and nearly pulled off an upset in the first round, with UMass Dartmouth needing a pair of 3-set singles wins just to survive. Also, Tessa Labar and Megan Marshall both moved into the top 20 in career singles wins. Would head coach Kathy Peverly and her lone senior please come to the stage?
There she is. Surprise, Megan. All right, Megan Marshall is our senior and our Panther Award winner. Megan has been unbelievable this year. She has really stepped up to the plate for my first year as a coach. She was a huge help to me, and I cannot thank you enough. Her positive demeanor, her hardworking mentality, her leadership skills brought the team together at a very tense beginning to the season. With her help, we found a new player to round out our team and became more cohesive, and we generally enjoyed playing and practicing together. She regularly brought water for the team, provided sage advice regarding opponents, and using the knowledge she gleaned from her major in athletic training, created a warm-up routine specifically designed to target the muscle groups for tennis for maximum effect. She gives her all at practices and matches and academically, a true athlete and scholar.
Her teammates note that she's the hardest player, she plays the hardest people, and helps out with the community. She has played 4 years and is a great role model and leader for everyone. I chose Megan for this award because she has been on the team for years and does very well in school. Even though she can't always be there, she represents the Panther Award well. Another says that she embodies what it is to be a true student athlete at PSU, and she's our senior captain. A captain, a senior, and a great player. So Megan's strong work ethic, her superior time management skills, coupled with her positive attitude and impressive leadership qualities, makes her the perfect Panther Award winner. So yay, Megan.
All right, let's head back to the ice and the men's ice hockey team. What a season. School record for wins, program best 19-game winning streak, unbeaten run through the MASCAC, 6 straight MASCAC regular season crown, 4 straight tournament title, highest national ranking ever, as high as number 8 in the nation, just the second home NCAA tournament game in program history. Individually, let's see, Brendan Brawley set the school record for both goalie wins and shutouts in a year. He was an NHWA All-Star. Coach Craig Russell won his 200th career game, and then a couple days later became the program's all-time winningest coach with victory number 209 back in January. 5 all-conference players. Honestly, we should have had every single all-conference spot. And don't get me started on Miles Abbott. Miles, I love you, man, but I gotta be honest, I was getting really darn tired about writing about you every single day at the end of the season. MASCAC Player of the Year, first team All-American, 100 career points, Joe Kincannon Award winner, New England Hockey Writers Association co-MVP, and I'm sure I probably forgot 2 or 3 other awards that fell through the cracks somewhere. Coach Russell, seniors, please come on down.
I don't know, we probably have like 15 or 16 guys, I have no idea. I can't see anything up here. How do you guys see anything up here? I can't see a thing.
Probably gonna have to shoot this kitty corner.
Okay. Brendan Brawley, Ted Austin, Lucas Holmquist, Miles Abbott, Jovan Zimmerman, Jacob Lauren, Nix Krolis, Kyler Harding, and Mayor Ben Chipman. I was going to call Ben Chipman up here to present the award because he's been here longer than me, but I figure I'll take this one. Congratulations to all the award winners tonight. Very prestigious honor bestowed upon you all. It's truly an honor for me to be able to witness all of you play the game you love and represent PSU with such honor and pride. Our award recipient is one that embodies all of our core values in all facets. 3 of those core values are commitment, pride, and focus. Brendan Brawley certainly brings this to the table every single day. We ask our players to take initiative in their development, not only as athletes, but as human beings. We also require them to bring others along in their journey by being a positive influence and leading by example. This guy changed everything about himself away from the rink so he could be his best on it. Brennan Brawley went from 0 wins his first year to being one of the top statistical goalies in the country as a senior, pulling together an 18-game personal win streak spanning both semesters and setting our program's all-time win record in a season with 22 wins and only 26 starts. He was named first team all-conference and goalie of the year or honor roll nearly every week throughout the entire season. He ranked top 10 nationally in save percentage, goals against average, wins, winning percentage, and shutouts. He graduates with 2 of the top 5 goals against average in a season in program history, first in shutouts in a season with 5, and third in saves in a career. No matter what these stats show of his ability to play the position, he leaves a bigger hole in our culture. Guy hasn't had a carb in like 4 years. He's one of the most competitive players every single day, never satisfied regardless of his performance. He would go an entire practice of scoring drills and game situational drills, letting up less than 2 goals, and he probably saw 50, 60, 70 shots in those practices. He started the season with an MCL injury that nearly sidelined him, and we had to force him to take days off so we could have him ready for games. To put it lightly, we were a bit of a dumpster fire in the first semester, but Brawls was a constant for us and made us better every single day. He's just as competitive academically, holding nearly a 3.8 as an accounting major. He'll be impossible to replace, but one we're excited to welcome into the brotherhood of our alumni. Congratulations, Brawls.
Put that blanket down. Put that blanket down. Hold the real thing.
Speech, Brawls.
Your turn.
Speaking of incredible seasons, let's head to the gridiron and talk about the year the football team had. The Panthers matched the most wins in a season since 2017, got a New England Bowl berth, and then were kind enough to spot Huss in a 20-point lead just to beat them 21-20. Manny Sanchez moved into the top 10 in career rushing yards and rushing touchdowns. The team had 8 all-conference selections, and Braden Lynn took home Offensive Rookie of the Year honors. My favorite part about Panther Awards is when Coach Castonia comes up here and says more than, huh. So Coach and seniors, please come on up.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. First off, I want to thank Micah and the trainers that worked with us this fall. Playing football, obviously a rough sport, and did a great job keeping us in one piece and getting guys back together. Couldn't have achieved what we did without him and his staff. Certainly want to thank Coach Z and all the other coaches. Would be lost without him. And this group of seniors, I usually throw compliments around like manhole covers, but this was really an enjoyable group. And there's some very good players in here, but our success this year was due more so to them and the type of teammates they were, and the unselfish leadership that they provided, and how they bought into what we were doing and how we were doing it, and got others to do the same. And we've had more talented teams in the past that haven't achieved what these guys have done, and that's a credit to those guys in particular. Our Panther Award goes to a guy that represents the team in all the right ways, on and off the field. Unfortunately, this guy has battled numerous injuries, but never complained, worked to get better whenever he could, and when he was healthy, was a crucial contributor. So I'm happy to present this Panther Award to Jack Glanville.
And last but certainly not least, we move on to men's soccer. The Panthers opened the season with a 5-game unbeaten streak, the best since the 2005 squad, and put together its finest season since 2015. Faisal Abdallah was a first-team all-conference selection after leading the league with 12 goals, including a 4-goal game in the season finale against Fisher, and he also claimed United Soccer Coaches All-Region recognition. And of course, head coach Rob Wright, our resident comedian, makes his much anticipated return to the Panther Awards after missing last year. Coach, I have a couple questions for you to ponder while you and your seniors come forward. What do you call a cow with no legs? Who said it? Ground beef. I can't believe you didn't get that right. What do you call a cow with 2 legs? Lean beef. Yes. Well done, Molly. Coach, seniors, come on up.
Guys, just a quick note. Eric Higgins, our senior captain, unfortunately can't be here. He's a criminal justice major, and he's doing an internship where he works night shifts. So right about now, he's putting some juvenile delinquents to bed and getting beaten up for about the 4th time in 5 weeks. So that's Higgs. And then there's Anton. Freiburg, where do you think you're going? No back. Okay, so Chris, I appreciate the introduction, but it's a sad day for me. This afternoon I was at a funeral for a good friend of mine. He passed away after getting hit in the head with a tennis ball. It was a lovely service. And Kilmer, I respect you, I love you, but you are one strange dude. Today, he was in town at the bank, in line. There's an old lady in front of him. She asked if she can check her balance. He pushed her over. Anyway, Anton. So Anton has been with us since I should say 2019, and has proven to be an exceptional individual and just an outstanding captain for us. He's hardworking, conscientious, and always puts the needs of the team first. Traits that truly set him apart. Perhaps the most telling thing about how highly Anton is regarded by our group is that in 2021, at the end of the season, we asked the squad for suggestions as to who should be a captain. Anton received the most by a long, long way. The thing is, he didn't play on the team that year, and half the guys didn't know him, but he still got the votes. I have no doubt that great things lie ahead for you, dude, in the rest of your life, and looking forward to the next chapter. So thank you for everything, and congratulations.
So what Coach failed to mention was that old lady in front of me at the bank was actually Lauren. We have one last presentation, so I'm going to ask Courtney O'Clair to come up for that.
All right, for the final presentation for this evening, we wanted to thank someone that has actually stepped up big time this year. As you all know, we lost our admin assistant in August, right before the school year started, and we were she didn't die, sorry. We lost her as in she left Plymouth State, sorry, yes. And we started drowning in the main office in the first semester, and we had someone step up big time. You know her. She works literally every single day, and she runs every single event that we hold. So we would like to present one final Panther Award winner to Nicole Savoy for her outstanding contribution.
And finally, before I let everybody go, just a couple of quick announcements. First, at the conclusion of the night, all the Panther Award winners, please come up to the stage for a group photo. Second, I hope and expect to see all of you at our lacrosse playoff games both tomorrow and Thursday. Best of luck to baseball and softball as they wrap up their regular seasons this weekend. And finally, to everybody, thank you for being here tonight. Good luck with finals.